Situation of the country, but also expanded the economy. In a statement to celebrate his midterm in office, the president said under his watch, the country's external reserves increased by almost 500% from $4 billion in 2023 to over $23 billion by the end of 2024. What an achievement. The full text of the president's speech is available online. Check your major newspapers. They all have it. You can go through it. It's quite the read. And, well, you'll see a couple of things. But here's a summary of it. That's what I do. I always help you. You're welcome. You don't have to thank me. Economic reforms and fiscal stability. That's where we started. Subsidy removal and currency devaluation. The president defended the elimination of fuel and electricity subsidies and the devaluation of the naira, stating that these measures were necessary to prevent a deeper fiscal crisis. If you remember, the three most powerful words that rocked the Tinubu administration were the words, subsidy is gone. The president was just declared president. We were waiting for his inaugural speech. He could have said anything in that speech. The president did not waste time. He wanted you to know immediately. Could you have waited for the next day? Oh, yes. But why wait? Why do tomorrow what you can do today? Subsidy is gone. Say, but Mr. President, he said that you don't understand what we're talking about. Do you know the meaning of subsidy? You say, yes, sir. Is. He said, that's something present continuous. That's wonderful. Gone. Says it's beyond reach. Amazing. Put all of them together. Fiscal deficit reduction. The fiscal deficit decreased from 5.4% of GDP in 2023 to 3% in 2024, attributed to improved revenue generation. Now, this is according to the president, so we're analyzing his speech. Foreign reserves and debt management. Foreign reserves increased to $37 billion, up from $33 billion in May 2023. Administration cleared a $7 billion forex backlog and reduced the debt service ratio from 97% to 68%. Now, for economic growth, foreign direct investment, Nigeria attracted $30 billion in investment within the past year, signaling investor confidence in the country's economic reforms. And for economic stabilization bills, the Federal Executive Council approved bills aimed at making business environments more friendly. Security and national unity. Over 300 Boko Haram and bandit commanders have been eliminated, leading to the restoration of peace in numerous communities and return of displaced persons. And the ongoing challenges, despite these efforts, insecurity persists. But we are working as much as we can to solve it. Agriculture and food security. The government is investing in agriculture by providing fertilizers and farming equipment. A local assembly plant for 2,000 John Deere tractors is set to be completed within 6 months. Transportation, CNG buses. To lower transportation costs, the administration is deploying CNG buses nationwide. And he went on and on. Social welfare, youth empowerment, disaster response and infrastructure, governance and local autonomy. That one was quite it. I want you to go and check that speech out. Just read, check President Tinubu's, what should you Google? Full text, full speech, 2 years in office. You will find it on major newspapers, right? Beyond even the fact that we are talking on radio, it's important that you read it. So these were the things he highlighted, stating that they were wins for his administration. And that is what it is. And I'm sure governors across the country marking 2 years, those whose election cycles fall within the regular calendar, will also have similar engagements with the citizens, speeches, scorecards, data, and all the things that they can offer to remind you about the mandate that you've given them, the idea that they are fulfilling the promises they made, and that you made the right choice voting them in. That is what happens on the 29th of May. I'd like to take your thoughts. Coming up next, residents of Port Harcourt, citizens of Rivers. No, citizens should be country. Yeah, citizens of Nigeria resident in Port Harcourt are asking that the government is transparent with the proposed Rivers budget. We'll touch that in a bit, but I'd like to talk to you. The numbers to call are 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 06416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. There's an interesting comment here from Okoro Hyacinth. Okoro, I'll have to read your comment because I'm glad you said you know that it shouldn't be here now. Good afternoon, Mr. Sam. I'm sorry for raising this matter here, knowing fully well that it's not under discussion at the moment, but because you've already volunteered to follow it up to the end, that's the reason I want to know the level of progress that have been made by EFCC over the CBEX, Ponzi, and the investors. Whether or not you can still invite to give us updates. Okay, Hyacinth, we would reach out to the spokesperson, but I know that the EFCC always puts information on their website or social media handle, so check that first. And, of course, we'll reach out to Mr. Dele Oyewale to know what's the update. Jude calls from Omuma. Hello, Jude. Good afternoon.
Yes, Sam.
Good afternoon.
Let me dwell on the president's speech.
Okay.
Where he articulated the much, according to him, he has done for us, the Nigerians. I think I look at that as probably his dream, not even a vision, because all he has said is in the opposite. In the area of security, agriculture, in the economy, yes, maybe these are things he's dreaming, or he was dreaming before he became the president. For me, it doesn't make sense. They are not real. It is in his administration I would describe as the most oppressive to Nigerians, most oppressive government to Nigerians is Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Nigerians were passing through hell more than ever since 1960. Even during the military, Nigerians didn't pass through this hell. So let me leave that for Nigerians. Now, that failure to unaccountability of an elected governor of Rivers State. It is the same Tinubu administration that has made the elected governor of Rivers State unaccountable. Because Tinubu woke up in a day like the military. I hereby suspend the constitution. That's the military. That's what we saw in Rivers State. The governor of Rivers State is hereby suspended. And what the governor should have accounted for cannot be accounted for now. So we have seen hell in Tinubu's administration. And history will have it. So let's leave it at that. So there's no need telling us what he has done, what he has not done. The history will have it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jude. Robin calls from HA. Hello, Robin.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
It's funny.
What is funny?
In my place where I come from, as an Ekpere man, it's said that a man who dances does not notice his waist. Even if anybody tells me that what President Tinubu have just said is correct, I disagree. How much was dollar before he took over? The CNG buses he talked about, how many of his ministers, including himself, how many APC governors are using CNG made vehicles? I'm not an economist. However, he's telling us the growth of Nigerian money for example. Why not mention to us the money he has just asked National Assembly to approve for him? If he gets that money, how much trillion Nigeria is going to owe? The economy is doing well, according to him. The local government chairman is crying. The governor of Borno State is begging. in a local government is only one town that is secure. Is not aware. How come he's trying to suspend his own party constitution? Elected executive in River State here. He's talking about rule of law. How come he's trying to be an authority other than the Nigerian constitution, which is forced to defend by suspending elected governor? All those he has said are rhetoric. You are advising that I should read. I will not read because I know that those things are all deceitful. On ground, Nigerians were poor. National grid collapsed how many times per second in his government? It's unfortunate. For Tim Fubara, the address he read is so fine, fantastic, one of the best I've had from him. This is what he ought to have told us, rather than telling that don't fight for me, don't discuss for me. However, if he comes back, if at all, his government, as I've been telling you from the day, let him not consolidate, because the previous government he took over from did not do well for River State. His governor should be out of brick and mortar. He should think about human capital development, employ teachers. Good afternoon, Robin Manda, the farmer.
Thank you very much, Robin. I'm not quite sure that I can take such long speeches moving forward, even though I understand that people are not happy. Well, we'd have to keep it short, keep it moving. Simply Goodness on WhatsApp says the administration of President Tinubu has no scorecard as far as I'm concerned, because it's been from poverty to abject poverty. While for the suspended governor of River State, nothing much to celebrate, because aside from civil servant he has focused on, it's been all about big talk and little result. Thanksgiving here and there, and that's it. That's Simply Goodness from Alaka here. Sam, greetings. Congratulations to Governor Sim Fubara for marking his 2-year anniversary despite being on suspension. That's from Thank God Ability at Uebu. Chima calls from Rumokuta. Hello, Chima. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Mr. Oracle.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Oracle, from the governor's speech or his letter written to us, has really shown to me that he deliberately eluded us from development or governance in River State.
Also,
By this thing, yes, he masqueraded all these things under the democracy, the political struggle, the fight that he had. Now, this suspension is just only 2 months or 3 months. All the other years, you have now kept it aside so that nothing happened. You ruled this state for more than 1 year, going to how many months? Then you don't know anything that you have done. Now you are not capitalizing on the fight that you are fighting selfishly, because you were struggling to become a leader of a party. That one doesn't concern us. You were struggling to go out from your political godfather. You want to be a father on your own. It doesn't concern us. You were fighting with the assembly members so that you will not pass budget the rightful way. It doesn't concern us. So now, why are you not bringing it now? That because of this and that, we could not enjoy development in your own hand. Have you seen one making you understand that this governor deliberately kept us out of governance in River State? That is one of the reasons why each time I hear his name, I'm not happy at all. Now, we're talking about development. Let us start from education. You and I know how teachers have been crying in primary school, how depleted their property, their building is. What did he do about it? Now, the issue is that there were even lack of teachers. What offended me the most is that he employed them. We heard it. But he did not allocate them to classes. Even will be angry at me if he has this thing again. But their salary was captured in 2024 budget. Budget. He didn't pay any of them at all. Where are those money, if we may ask?
all right, Chima.
We are here, the health sectors, we are crying. If you want me to stop, I will stop.
No, I don't want you to stop. I want you to reduce your voice first and start rounding up, because I have others on after you.
Okay, I am sorry about it. I'm sorry.
No problem. Go ahead.
Sorry for your ear.
Quickly.
Now, Governor Simlai Fubara, you understand, has really set us about 10 years backward in River State. And he did this thing deliberately. And that is the reason why Have you come across the Rumola Road by Rumokuta? That is one CNG gas.
Okay.
That is I went there when they opened. They said that federal government has sent some kind of material, and he has told the motor union, quote me, motor union to come and convert their car by 100 cars.
Okay, Chima, that's all I would take. Take from you. But just sorry for your ear. It was funny the way he said it. Okay, Braid calls from Mile 1. Hello, Braid.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, let me talk about the CNG car that the president is talking about. How many of his ministers that is going to use that CNG car? In time past, when government were using Pojo and Pilto, you see that the governors, those are vehicles the governors also use. You see president using Pojo. But today, what's happening? That they will not use the CNG car, but they want to give the masses the CNG cars. And if that CNG car paraventure from Port Harcourt to Aba has a problem, where would they go and get it done? I don't know. The scorecard of our president, I don't know the people that are writing those speech for our president, and that speech will not be scrutinized. I think that is not a good one. Our president should also use that same card before bringing it out for the public to make use of it. And also the speech of our governor. Well, I want to appeal to the conscience of our political leaders to always carry the heart of the people, to ensure that they carry the masses along in whatever they are doing. They should think their political differences. Our governor, yes, he has done a lot, and he has also missed a lot, because River State is now in the archive that sometimes when there is democracy, River State was operating in a military administration, and that is not a good one, because the governor and the assembly members refuse to think their differences. Take River State ahead of them. But right now, the headlong is that how long are we going to remain with this military administration? That is my question to the suspended governor and the assembly members.
Now, Braid, hold on. Let me respond to something you said. You talked about government officials using Peugeot vehicles, right, earlier. But how many government officials? Now, you need to remember, which I'm sure you do, that we had Peugeot assembly plants in Nigeria in the 70s and the 80s, and I don't know if you made it into the 90s until it stopped.
Early 90s.
Exactly. So these vehicles were assembled in the country. Government officials using them was, it was a statement that needed to be made. The CNG buses, there are places where you can convert your regular vehicle to CNG, and CNG buses are being brought into the country. It's not the same thing. Government officials not using that, it doesn't really rate on the same scale as to having an assembly that assembles the vehicles in your country.
Now, good and fine. What you now bring up is a very good. That is where I am also going. Because now, they are telling us about CNG vehicles.
Yeah.
Can it be assembled in Nigeria?
Yeah,
It cannot be assembled in Nigeria. And why can't there is a business mogul that is assembling car in Nigeria? Why can't they go to that person to say, give us a vehicle that Nigerians can assemble? This CNG car you're talking about, if your car breaks down at Romola, is there any mechanic garage that will have that CNG repairs? The answer is no. How many government officials that will enter that CNG car? How many of them have reversed their vehicle to CNG vehicle? Which of them?
Okay.
Mention even a local government councillor.
All right, Braid. Thank you very much. I get the point. There are people who are still not on board as to converting their own vehicles to CNG. So I understand it. Ezeken from Ubimini. Hello, Ezeken.
Good evening, CSO.
Good evening. Thanks for staying on the line.
You see, we are good in speaking like the Westerners, but we don't do like them. We emulate them by paper writing and also media escalation. Otherwise, when we are talking about how to use the vehicle we are talking about, where, which center, which state, which LGA, city do we have the maintenance centers of this vehicle or conversion? I don't know if you understand my take there.
Yeah.
Hello?
I do. Go ahead.
Fine. Now, the president himself should first of all have an exemplary system for his government dispensation. Call him higher. Imagine him as if he is the highest president we have gotten in this our 58th year of independence.
Oh,
they have given him the whole scores. Though we don't know if he the next president in 2027, but they have given him the whole accolades, which he deserves it or not. So if you ask me, Mr. SOC, let federal government show us and give us a exemplary leadership which we follow. If anybody defaults it, then they will know what to do that person.
All right. Thank you, Ezeken. I have to take a break now. When I return, we talk some more.
We'll be back.